Right.
I mean, I would say, honestly, testosterone and growth hormone, I would consider to both be very safe, right? If you're
Mhm.
using them wisely.
Right.
And even growth hormone in larger amounts doesn't really present that many problems. And
Yeah.
at least in the US, they're really cracking down. I don't know if you saw, they outlawed
I saw it. Yeah. Yeah.
all that
I
stuff,
saw with Rick Collins. Rick Collins sent me that link of the FDA, and I'm like, oh my God, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And that's just because semaglutide is being copied, right?
Yep.
With the vitamin B12 or whatever,
Exactly.
to bypass the patent. And so they're like, we don't want to be known for being the lobbyists that like Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk is whispering in their ears, like, you got to ban this stuff because we're losing out on money. So, okay, we'll ban all of it. I mean, it's the Biden administration. They already banned HCG.
Yep. Well, you should
ban
see
everything else.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting that you knew that. So that's what's happening now medically here is the TRT clinics can't get HCG, right? If they can even find it, it's very expensive. It's gone up tenfold in price. And so now it's
$100 per vial.
Yeah. Well, it's forced doctors now to buy it off the black market. So now they're using the stuff that's made in Thailand, and but so
they don't produce it here. No, they produce it in Turkey. Otherwise, I would have had access.
I just know, it's not produced here domestically.
I wish it was available here. I have to import my Merck Ovitrol from Turkey also.
Yeah, but that's all it's doing. It's just forcing the black market to get bigger.
Yeah, so people are always worried, like, they're going to remove the peptides and they're going to remove the HCG, but it just means you have to get a little bit more resourceful and spend a little bit extra money. And if they confiscate your package, all the more reason to stop paying taxes there and just go live somewhere else.
Exactly.
That's easier said than done. I mean, I was able to escape from that bullshit. I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm just going to go somewhere else. But it's, of course, if you're settled with kids in a house, and then it's easier said than done. But it's, that's basically the ultimate fuck you.
And they'll probably come after testosterone next.
Yeah,
no, they don't.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, of course. What is it? What is this asshole's name? That doctor that's trying to block a nicotinamide mononucleotide, which is endogenously produced for NAD+. Anti-aging guy. I'm sure we're going well in the comment section. What is his name? Sinclair, David Sinclair.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so he just published his own nicotinamide mononucleotide study. Nobody could find it. But then Physionic is another YouTube channel. He really goes into the scientific evidence. Physionic is a good guy.
Okay.
Very, very smart guy, very good researcher. He was able to find the nicotinamide mononucleotide study from David Sinclair. And he's like, this is a bunch of horseshit. Why are you trying to, make sure that it's become a drug? But he's probably just getting lobbied by some big pharma companies.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's crazy what goes on. I know. They don't want, the last thing they want you to be healthy.
Yeah. No, they want you to be sick. Yeah. They want you to have diabetes.
No
that seems how it's set up now. I mean, the food pyramid is basically there to give you diabetes and make you obese. And then the medical system is there, not preventative, but reactive.
No, and they in medical school in the third year, when you specialize, when you pick you're exposed to all of the general areas of medicine, and you have to take classes on each one. The one that's left out is endocrinology.
Oh,
which is interesting. So at least in the U.S., so if you go to a doctor in the United States, unless they are an endocrinologist, most of them have never been taught any of that. So it makes sense that they don't understand these things. So you can't ask a regular doctor about testosterone. They just think it's an evil thing. They don't understand it at all. They never took a class in it.
No, and endocrinology means hormones produced from one gland to the other, right? It's a secretagogue. So basically from the pituitary or the pancreas to other organs. So most endocrinology is insulin and diabetes.
Yep.
That's like 95% of it. And the other 5%, there may be other particular products. I mean, the TRT space is tiny.
Yep.
For now. And it's weird because in America and the rest of the world, TRT is getting more and more and more and more popular. I mean, the amount of people that I see on TRT now, either self-prescribed or through a clinic like Merck Health or some of the other ones. I mean, it's astounding how many guys are pulling the plug on this, And I think overall it's a benefit, but for how long, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. How long can you get away with it? I don't know. Right. And most of the TRT clinics, at least in the US, they're not doctors that are necessarily certified in doing that. They have a certification, like a wellness thing, or their GP that's writing for it, and they'll get that stuff yanked. Right?
Yeah. No, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Are you familiar with the YouTube channel called Man Medicine?
No.
No, okay, so that's another small YouTube channel where it's just I think he's an endocrinologist and he has a hormone clinic. He's certified in 3 states, and he makes very good, interesting videos about topics related to TRT and then optimizing male health. But he's just one of those solo warriors that is also pushing against the grain a little bit with his content. But it's I think honestly, if you want to do something along this field, you're just gonna have to do it yourself at one point.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
or at
Yeah.
least be educated about it yourself.
All right. Do you come across anything new and groundbreaking in your field when you're doing research for school, and then thinking like, watch out on this because in 5 years or 10 years it's going to be the next big thing, like the primobolan metabolite that could be an aromatase inhibitor, or
That stuff
reducing
seems to be the
inflammation?
most fascinating. There's not a lot of new. Most of the new molecules, we make things all the time, but they just get shelved. It's similar to what
Oh
was
yeah.
going on in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
We have computers that spit out molecules all the time, and they don't go, either they're too toxic to ever use, or
Mhm.
there's no use for them right now. And then
Right.
getting something then approved for a study is another thing.
But this is all through simulation, right? So they simulate the molecule, and then they
Yep.
simulate potential receptor binding and
Yep.
metabolism and that kind of stuff, and then they figure out like, oh, this is worth it or not worth it.
Yeah. So we, like you can scan, for instance, I could scan Anavar and Trenbolone together,
Mhm.
and then it'll give me anything that's related to the two of them combined.
Oh.
And then a human has to actually look at the molecule to tell if it's toxic or not. The computer can't really tell,
Mm-hmm.
based on the structure, if it's going to be toxic or not. So then a human still needs to be there to do the initial
Right. The analysis,
check
huh?
on it. Yep. And then
So it doesn't go through particular, cytochromes to see where the metabolism ends up and where it potentially inhibits a receptor or binds to a
it can, but
receptor.
some of the things the robot, it's like AI. It's only good for
Mhm.
so many things. It's not.
How long is it going to take, though?
I don't know. We will see. I have no
That's
idea.
like, I feel right now like we're all trying to piece it together, right, with the limited information that we have, and we're like right on. I feel that we're always on like close to a breakthrough, but it's just not coming.
No,
Because we have
and that's the thing.
we have so many educators in the space, right? Trying to with their own personal experience and interpreting the scientific evidence, and then guys like you are actually part of that process where new things get investigated, and whether they pass or not, that remains to be
Who
seen. But
knows? Yeah,
I always feel like we're close to a breakthrough that simply isn't coming, which makes me a little bit frustrated.
I know.
Because I would like to know the most optimal and healthiest approach to use these compounds, but it seems that there's always a caveat somewhere. Like even primobolan, it's not well studied.
Nope, not like that. And that's that new study that we talked about previously. That who knows if that'll actually go anywhere, right? So they stumbled
Yeah.
onto these two major things. It could literally just get shelved for another 20 years, or never get looked at again, or it could become another drug. It depends who sees money in it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with us, you can't really make money. We
No,
the
no, we're
bodybuilders.
not. No,
Yeah,
no, they don't care about
those
us.
bodybuilders. No, the bodybuilders are mostly too broke to spend money. I mean, like I talk about a lot of new novel compounds, right? And sometimes the researchers of these compounds actually reach out, like 5-amino-1-MQ, which is a nicotine N-methyl N-methyltransferase inhibitor, nicotinamide N-methyltransferase inhibitor. So it has to do with the recycling of NAD+.
Yep.
So you can inhibit this, and then NAD+ levels are sustained mostly in adipose tissue. And it's such a novel compound, and it looks so promising. And then one of the researchers reached out. It's like, these are the best videos ever. Why doesn't it get any views? I said, well, it's too new. Maybe 10 years from now, there was like, oh, Steve and the researchers were onto something. But it's just so new that people have no idea what it is and even understand, the mechanism behind it. Like I'm surprised that semaglutide and liraglutide got such a high adoption, because me and Colette Nelson were one of the few first ones to talk about it. Like, and Colette Nelson was really, because she's very into diabetes stuff, right? She has diabetes herself, and she was like, "Oh, keep your eye on this because this is going to be a big thing." And she was right. I mean, now everybody's using it, and then tirzepatide came out, and now retatrutide, which is actually available now. And I think that's going to put all the appetite suppressants to shame.
Yeah, and that area is growing, but the anabolic world is not really growing very large. It's more
because they prescribe it for people with diabetes and obesity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so
really,
after after
Sorry.
all your research, I mean, you've been part of this game for such a long time. What would you say would be, like, with all the information we have currently, what would still be approved substances and compounds to use where you don't really have to worry about safety? Because,
What's the
like,
dose? I mean, the dose is the poison,
yeah,
right?
right.
I mean, I would say, honestly, testosterone and growth hormone, I would consider to both be very safe, right? If you're
Hmm.
using them wisely.
Right.
And even growth hormone in larger amounts doesn't really present that many problems, right? Unless you're already
No, unless you
diabetic
have
or something else.
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we use here for certain cancers, if it's not treatable and it's at the end stage, we
Mm.
see, I know people that are given it with lymphoma, things like that, if there's no hope,
Hmm.
so at that
Oh,
point, they're not
really?
really worried about it growing anymore. And
Mm.
we use it
So
for
they get
HIV
growth
here.
hormone prescribed just for overall quality of life at the end?
Yeah. We see it in
Wow.
AIDS all the time. So there's still, HIV, and
Yeah,
not
HIV,
still
of
on
course.
AIDS, but there's still HIV here. And that's, at least the state that I live in, that's really the primary use for it. You
Right.
can't really write it anymore for anything else. Chronic kidney
Hmm.
failure.